Hello, everyone, and today I'm going to take you through the steps to create a dialogue cards, H5P dialogue cards. Of course, it's in our sandbox at onlinecoursesforfree.com. If you scroll down, you will see that also the moderators have already made available self-enrollment for any student who wants to join, whomever, anybody. You can join any of the sandboxes and see what other teachers have done. Feel free to do that and team up with the teachers that you wanted to team up with. So this is student self-enrollment. You can enroll yourselves, no need to ask us. So here we're going to go in and to the H5P Teacher Sandbox. I'm open it up, and I am going to teach you how to create in week 3 a dialogue cards. So of course I want to make sure this is in week 3 H5P with images, and I'm going to click more, and I'm going to click content bank because I want to skip the step of adding the activity because it's not ready yet to add it to the course page, and this just saves me time. So you just go to the content bank and you create in there. You click add, you choose dialogue cards. I'm not going to choose it right now because I've already, maybe I can. So I'll just do one just to show you. So you write in the title, the heading, and so on. And here are the dialogue cards. So you start with this one, you fill out these forms, and you add the image, and I'll show you how to do that. And this is how you add dialogue cards. So it gives you one, and then you just click add, and then you see the next one, and then you click add again, and you see the next one, and so on and so on. Okay, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to maybe save this. I didn't give it a title, so I'd have to do that. I think I'm just going to cancel because there's nothing here. But don't do that in yours because I've prepared a dialogue cards here, and I called it the Radley family vocabulary just to keep with Andrea's theme, as my other computer with all of my stuff in it, um, the screen decided not to work, as well as I found out that the power socket in it was broken, so therefore I have to wait for it to get fixed, and then I'll be able to access all of my work and images and everything I've put together. We're just waiting for a part on it, and when it comes in, it'll get fixed. So I've put this together already, but I'm going to go in and edit because I want to edit what I've done. So I've called it, so you always start at the top when you start filling out your forms. So the title I decided on Dialogue Cards, the Radley Family Vocabulary. Dialogue Cards, the Radley Family Vocabulary. You decide how you want to do that. The mode, I've chosen normal instead of repetition. And the task description, look at the image and learn the new words. So what I'm adding this week to the dialogue cards is last week you learned how to add text. This week you're going to learn how to add images. These forms are pretty much the same for each and every H5P activity. So you start at the top with the first dialogue card, and you're going to add text. So here I added the Radley family. Answer, the Radley family. This goes on the back side of the card. So the second part of the dialogue. First part of the dialogue, second part of the dialogue. So the image is here, and I uploaded the image of the Radley family that Andrea so kindly shared with me because of what's happened with my other computer. And in here, I filled out all of the information. And by this point, you're probably wondering, where did she get that information from? That's what we're going to share with you. And the rest of these, I just leave it the way it is. And I did the same thing for a doctor, a chef, a teacher, and a dentist. So here, I'm going to add a dialogue, and I'm going to call this one a police officer. And then the answer is going to be a police officer. And I'm going to add the image from my image file. So in my computer, I created a file that has the images that we have taken from various sources. So I'm going to add the image, and I'm going to choose a police officer, and I'm going to choose these ones because there's actually two of them. Actually, I wanted to choose just version 1 because I was playing around with something, and there's version this. Okay. And I'm going to edit the copyright information. And this is where you have to do work before you come into here. And basically, we have a Word document, and it has everything that we start with. And I'm going to look for this activity. I need more real estate, so I'm going to close the the left-hand side of this, and now I have my form here. I can resize this, and I can just let go. I want it on this side, not that side, and I'm just going to resize it again. I'm in trouble doing this here. I need to grab this and make it bigger. Anyway, there we go. So don't get too excited. Just let this work for you. Also, I can make the size a little bit smaller so I can see the whole thing and the closed box when I'm done. And I just need to find the information on the police officer. I chose not to use the cartoon. I prefer real life characters, and it's here. So Andrea likes to use name, author, license, source. I use a different format, which I'll introduce to you, or which has been introduced to you in the first activity, in the first forum of this week. So the title here is police officers. So you're going to copy from here. I prefer just to type it. Some people find copy paste faster, but because this was shared with me, there's like a highlight and I don't know how to get rid of it, so I just quickly add everything. And it's Petra. Okay. And we don't know the years, but if you do, it'd be great if you put it in. The source code is here, so that I'm going to just copy and paste. And why do we use the source code? Because we could go to this image and maybe remind ourselves of what it is in the future if you want to reuse it for any other activity. Also, the license here is public domain. And then they have another version of the license. I didn't know which one to choose, so I just went with CC01. I'm not sure what this means, so we're going to try to figure that out together. I'm going to close this. I don't know why editing is off, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's working. So then, this is my image. And next week, we'll be adding audio files to the images, which I'll show you how to do. I'm going to add an alternative text for the image because I feel that this is very important. So image with 2 police officers at a gate. And that's going to be it. So I'm going to now save my work because I have too much experience of losing my work when websites stop working for some odd reason. And I really don't want to start doing this again. So I'll go back into the edit. No, but because I'm in the content bank, I'm able to edit. But I guess if I was in the course, I need to have edit mode on. I guess that's just for me, Moodle. I guess the content bank works differently. but that's interesting. I've never noticed that. So here's the police officer. So I've added the text, I've added the answer, I've added the image, I've added the edit copyright. Let's see what else I need to do. Let's go through the behavior settings. Enable retry button. I just leave that. Disable backwards navigation. Scale the text to fit inside the card. Unchecking this option will make the card adapted size to the size of the text. So I'm just going to leave it unchecked. Randomized cards, I guess you can use for learning other kinds of vocabulary, maybe like classroom objects, fruits, vegetables, whatever you're doing, whatever your theme is, food, etc. Um, and then you can randomize the order without a title page, because otherwise the title page will also get randomized, I believe. Anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. And here you can save this dialog card, and it is now done. And when I go back, so I did the same thing for all of the cards. They're all the same steps. I'm just going to save, and I'm going to go through my Radley family. So this is the Radley family. Turn card, the Radley family. To get them to repeat. I always tell my students there are 7 cards, so they need to use the blue navigation buttons to go through them. So a doctor, turn, a doctor. So they can practice saying it. A chef, turn, a chef. A teacher, turn, a teacher. So this teacher, it's female, and then I added a male teacher so that they can see it's a teacher as well. So a teacher, a teacher. Then they just practice. A dentist, turn the card, a dentist. A police officer, a police officer. And maybe you can even add police officers in brackets. I can do that now because there are 2 of them. But in the story, we have a police officer, and here there are 2, so I can just add the plural underneath it. So I click on the card I want to edit. So I have 7 cards, and I can come to the text box, click enter, so it goes on to the next line, and just write police officers. And the same with this one. Whoops, that doesn't look good, does it? Okay, and I can click save. I like to add one part of the card at a time. So I usually start with the text for my cards because I usually use audio as well with them, which you'll learn next week when we infuse our creations with audio. And yeah, so I could just go through it, see how it looks. And here is the police officers. And that's it. And that's how you create your dialogue cards. Oh, but I'm missing an important part where some people have been struggling with. So I'm going to now leave the content bank. So it's more content bank. So I'm just going to leave it. And I'm going to go back to my course. So I'm going to go back to week 3 where I need to add the H5P with images. Again, if you want to edit your title, you need to have edit mode on when you add activities within the Moodle. So now I'm going to add that H5P I created to my Moodle course. I'm in week 3. Again, if you want to change the names of any of these or add a topic section, you just click plus. And in this topic section, So I added it here, but I can move it. So I don't want it to go here. And this is the same. You can take this and move it to wherever you want. And I'm going to move it to after week 5. So this becomes topic 5. So I'm going to go find topic 5. So I'm just going to refresh my screen as I see that I made some changes. So here it is. So I select topic 5, and then I want to change the name of that. And I can choose edit section, and this will come up. So I want to make it customized, and I can just say, call it, let's just say H5P building area, or testing area, or whatever you want. So before you make it public to your fellow participants, you can do that. And you can also click here if you don't want your participants to see that area, and you can just hide the topic. Okay, so now it's hidden from students, so the other participants can't see what you've done. So back to adding my beautiful dialogue cards to this platform, to the Moodle. So I'm just going to add my H5P, so all activities. Of course, this Moodle has many activities, and we just restricted them in the sandbox because we want people to focus on what we're teaching. So it was just a strategy that we thought of. But of course, if you're on another platform, you can add whatever you want. So here, I'm going to call this the Bradley family vocabulary, or new words, the Bradley family. Because I teach basic, I usually say new words, and then I'm going to go to the description. I'm not going to add anything there. And then the package file, because I want to add that package file from the content bank. So I'm going to go here, click on this file, and I'm going to wait. Is it doing anything? Ah, there we go. Double click. And I'm going to go to the content bank, and I'm going to find my dialogue cards. Or another way to sort this is last modified, and I'll move it to the top, I believe. Oops. There we go. And here's the Radley family, which I created today. So I'm going to add it, and I'm going to link to the file. That way, if I decide to make any changes, it'll be great. The author is me. I'm going to specify a license. Again, I want Creative Commons, non-commercial, share alike, 4.0 international. I don't want people to make money from my creations when I'm not making any. There we go. I'm going to open this up. All. I like to expand all when I'm filling out these forms, just so that I don't have to keep clicking on each individual thing. For the H5P options, I'm going to allow download. I'm going to allow embed button and copyright button. And this will show my copyright information and probably the copyright information for all the images. The grade, of course, because I teach link, it's 70% to pass, and I just leave that at 100. And I scroll down. So if it's hidden on the course page, it's hidden, but you can make it available later, or you can unhide it later. I usually leave activities hidden when I'm creating them. The access, you can restrict access to, let's say you have a fake student account, you can allow them to join in, and you can find out more about restricted access via Moodle Academy or Moodle.org. completion conditions, you can also, um, I always add completion conditions. But with this one, I can add requirements, but the problem is it doesn't, like, you can't get a grade for these kinds of things. So I could do view the activity, but it's not really grading anything. And then again, if this was another kind of H5P and I had an e-portfolio attached to this site, I could, tag it for the e-portfolio. And I'll show you some of them that you can tag as a reading activity, especially reading or writing even. And I'll show you some of those in my sandbox. I'll make them available for you and you can watch them there. Send content change notification. This just sends a notification that this activity is ready to everyone in the course. I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to save and display. So when I save and display, I can test out my activity. Once it opens, right now, if you look at the top, it's just loading, so I just have to wait patiently. And here it is. So I'm just going to go through it like this. Make sure everything I want is there. And now I am going to check. The reuse lets you download it. This lets you see all of the rights of use for the image. Oops. So you get that there. So it's basically what we have on our sheets. So if you do your work, you can do that. And that's it. And I don't see any credit given to us, so I'm not sure how to add our own credit. But because we created it, our name will appear in the content bank. So whoever creates it, your name is beside whatever you create in your content bank. And if you have other courseware, you'll see who created it or adapted or whatever. Just thought I'd mention that. And I'm just going to close this. And now I'm going to go back into week 3. And somebody was asking, how do you move these around? Because I think dialogue cards, I can't remember where they're supposed to be, but it's really easy with this Moodle. You just take it and drag it wherever you want the activity. So if you want it at the top, you can put it there. If you want it in the middle, you can just put it there. If you want to grab it, you can even drag it here and put it at the top and it moves there. So you could use this left drawer to do that. In this Moodle, you can close your left drawer. You can close your right drawer or open your right drawer. And I find this amazing for this version. Trying to learn this one topic method. I like the design, so that's why I'm sticking with this. But on the other site I use the topics format. I really like the topics format. So let me know what you think about our activities, and we will release them again on Monday. Thanks for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial.